out and do a video while it's about almost sunset. Nice time here. So again, like I always do, tip up front. So this is for a lot of actors out there. You may have been in the business for a while. Most of the time I talk to new actors, as you know. This is for new actors and actors who have been in the business for a while. I was doing some work today, housekeeping for my agent. I have a couple of agents, and I have an agent I'm going to be working with on the East Coast. And so they wanted to have us, not just me, us as far as the actors they represent, fill out some new paperwork. They're moving over to a new casting system, which really looks nice and fancy. And they're also updating the paperwork and the way they do stuff. So a lot of actors drag their feet. You have an agent who's representing you. Maybe you have a manager who's representing you. They're working hard to send you out so that you will possibly get called in for auditions. You need to do your part and be on top of the paperwork. It's part of the business. That's why they call it show business. Don't sit back and say, oh, I'll do this tomorrow, I'll do this the next day, or I'll do this another day. These people are working for you and with you. And you need to be responsible and do your paperwork as fast as possible. Maybe sometimes you can't get all the details you need right away, but do what you can. Get your paperwork done. Handle the business side of acting. You have people helping you with that, and you don't need to slow them down. So whenever I get a request from my agent or my manager about updating something or sending in new documentation or following through with whatever the paperwork is, I stop what I'm doing and I do it and I send it to them right away. That puts me on top of their list as people they know who will follow through, because that's a big problem with actors. They don't follow through. They want to just do the fun part about being on set or being on the red carpet if you're in a big project. They don't want to do the work part. But you have to remember, this is called show business because there's an aspect to it that's business. And if you ask people to represent you and work for you and do the behind the scenes stuff that you don't want to do and that you probably can't do anyway, you need to follow through as quickly as possible. I see a lot of stuff coming from my representatives that, they want people to please turn in this, please turn in that, please keep this updated. It's been 5 years since you had headshots, please get new headshots. They're trying to help you. They're working together because they don't make money unless you make money. That's how this business works. So if they're asking you for something, please give them what they need. Give them what they need. You're helping yourself and you're helping them. So that's the tip for today. If they ask you for some documentation or some renewal of paperwork or to refresh your headshots, that is to help you if you want to stay in this business. All right, so let's go on to my topic. The last, almost 2 months, I've been working a lot with artificial intelligence generated video actors. Now, that's something really new to me. I've been a director for over 35 years. I've directed personally myself over 25 independent feature films, countless shorts, countless short videos. I've been an acting teacher. I've for adults, for youth, and working with artificial intelligence talent is something that's very new, because you're not working with real people, obviously. You're working with software, generated software. And there are some programs that are better than others out there right now. And again, here's the caveat. I understand this is all beta. This is all very new. This is new technology. And so I'm so excited to be a part of it, because over my whole career in the entertainment business, I missed so many firsts during the years of the film production and all that kind of stuff. I didn't jump on the bandwagon with a lot of stuff. I wasn't producing at the beginning of VHS. I was producing at the beginning of DVD, so I was in at the beginning of that, which was good. But this is something that's real different. Being in at the beginning of artificial intelligence. Even though I'm old, it's exciting me. It's rejuvenating me. It's giving me a rebirth of why I got into filmmaking, why I got into acting, why I got into directing and editing, because I love creating content from zero, from an idea in my head to creating it to something that someone else can watch and I can share with them. So I'm going to be talking a lot about, this is just a little bit here on the Vertical Live. Let me just do a quick little plug. Please come to my channel, James Adam Tucker, unedited. You'll see it down in the link below. Check me out. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't watched any of my multitudes and multitudes of content in my playlist, please watch some of it. Let it play in the background. Turn on the TV if you have to. Let it play in the background. Help me out. I need to build up my watch hours. That's the one thing I'm struggling on now. I have a lot of subscribers, and I thank you all for that. Thank you so much for subscribing. And my subscribers are still going up. My views are going up. I make a lot of shorts. And I know you've seen me here in the shorts feed, and you're like, who's this guy? What is he talking about? And I mostly talk about acting, directing, and editing. But I'm adding something else into there, the artificial intelligence creation of video and working with the artificial intelligence generated actors. That's what I'm talking about right now. Because prompting can only take you so far. There's so much. And let me just say this, get this out of the way. AI actors, they can't even hold up an ant's candle to real actors. You can't control them. When you're creating with AI, you're basically struggling just to get them to do the physical movements of what you want them to do. Now, let's don't talk about any emotion, because that's like that's like out of the ballpark right now. The people who are creating this software and creating these programs, they're doing something at lightning speed. And like I always say, every time I talk about this, we are their beta testers. And the thing of it is, I'm paying. I work with a lot of the paying services because I want more generations. I want more use of the software that I like. And the ones that I like, I focus on those. And I focused in on like three or four, tried a whole bunch of them. And the three that I work with, if you go to my website, you'll see the ones that I work with the most. But there's still a long way to go. That's basically what I'm beating around the bush to say. They don't compare to, excuse me, working with human actors. You can control a human actor and ask him or her to give you this emotion. You can say, Bill, when you say that line, let's try this. Pause a little bit, look at him for a moment, and then deliver the line. You can't get anything like that with artificial intelligence. They're stiff. A lot of them are stiff. At some points, they're fluid. When they are, most times when they're fluid is when they're creating movements that artificial intelligence generates. You can prompt a certain thing to say, maybe give me a little bit of smile at the end. But it's so difficult because if something doesn't work, then you have to do another prompt. You have to regenerate again. And every time you regenerate, you're paying. So a lot of what I've created so far, one of my series, which I'm having a lot of success with, a lot of you guys are watching, and thank you again, is Tammy, the actress and writer. Tammy, the writer, see it on my channel, Tammy, the actress and writer. It's a series about a woman who works here in Hollywood, and she has a development deal with 3 of the major networks for series. And it's all the ups and downs she goes through of producing those series. It's comedy. And I've been producing that for a little over a month. And if you go there, Tammy, the actress and writer, you'll see that on my channel at the link below. Watch some of the episodes and tell me what you think. I had started it horizontal, and I did about over 50 micro episodes for horizontal. And they're in the feed here. You can find them on my channel, but you've probably been seeing them on the feed through the shorts feed. And but once I tried to, this last episode, I was shooting for a goal of 20-minute episode, but it took me about almost 2 weeks just to generate the content for a 10-minute episode. So the next episode will be horizontal, 16:9 widescreen. I might even put up a 4K version, and I had a lot of ups and downs with it, to be honest. I love the look of it. I love the feel of it. I love the humor that I put in it. But you just can't control the actors well enough. That's why I say a lot of the software that we have access to right now is not ready to do, whatever, feature film or a television series on the network. Again, it's all beta. But I like that I can do this here on YouTube, because you, as a YouTube viewer, you can witness the evolution. I can get on here like I'm doing right now and tell you the problems that I have and the limitations that I have. But I decided to go forward and push forward and bring this series out. That's why I let it out so soon. I've been doing it over a month. And I'm up on, the episode I'm working on right now is actually 74. And 74 is going to be my first 10-minute episode. And I have all the content together. I started editing it last night. It took me a while to generate the content because I generated so many, trying to get it to do what I wanted to do. Like, for instance, here's one scene I had on this last episode, which is 74. The Tammy and her assistant, whose name is Tessa, they went on a double date. And they went to a nice restaurant. They, went out driving, blah, 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 blah. And so they're back now at Tammy's home. But I tried to get the couples, 2 guys and 2 girls, to enter the apartment, to enter the beachside condo together. And I don't know how many generations I lost rendering it over and over and over and over and over again. Going back and forth with the software. This company is controlled by ChatGPT. ChatGPT owns the company that I use to generate my artificial intelligence video. And I love the look. It's the closest and the most realistic that I've seen out there so far. And I'm a big proponent of this software. And Sora too. And I will continue to use it. And I hope they continue to make it. And I hope they continue to refine it, because it looks so good. It's the only one that looks like real film already. Now, I do color correction on everything that I put up, even if it's the artificial generated video. So it looks great. It looks great. But the control and the movement and the realism. And once I get a shot where, I'm struggling just to get them to walk together. And once I get that, then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes a character that's not supposed to be in there. Sora 2 puts in another extra character. So it's really frustrating, but all I can do is laugh. So I've been saving all of the, I had a great idea. I'm saving all of the messed up generations, and I'm going to compile those together like a blooper reel. After each episode, I'll have a blooper reel from that episode. So I haven't done that yet, but that's something for down the line. But again, the difference between AI actors and human actors, no way. I'm an actor also. So doing this makes me realize that the actors are all fearful that they're going to be replaced right away. And, they're going to be, ultimately down the line, maybe 10, 20 years. I know a lot of you people are going to give me some pushback on that. But I don't see this technology becoming smooth enough, fast enough to do what a real actor can do. Now, because when you're acting, there's so many subtleties. There's so many things that you don't plan. That's the thing of it. That artificial intelligence, that the tech bros behind it don't understand, is that an actor thinks for himself. He's not just blindly following a prompt or a script. That's why actors are needed. That's why actors have been in this business. That's why actors grow successful in this business. That's why you see the cream of the crop who can do more than, the A-listers are up here and the B and C listers are down here. Because actors can give emotion. They bring life to the script. That's their job. Artificial intelligence can't do that. And not to say that it won't ever be able to do it, because ultimately it probably will. And that's a time for people in the future to deal with. But for right now, this technology is great for doing small stuff and experimental stuff like I'm doing here on YouTube. My series, Tammy, the actress and writer. Please go to my channel and take a look at it. I'll appreciate that. And, but again, I am enjoying it. I am becoming invigorated in the process of filmmaking again by working with these artificial intelligence programs to generate video, generate scenes, work with actors, create content. If you go to my channel, you'll see a lot of the stuff that I'm doing. So a lot of the stuff is one-off, comedy, stuff that I'm putting up there. Primarily what I talk about, like I always say when I get on here, just for people who don't know who I am, I talk about acting, directing, and editing. And that's what I do. That's what I've been doing for the last 35 years. You can look me up on the Internet Movie Database. I'm an actor. I've been in a number of films, television, all that kind of stuff, good stuff. And as a director, I've directed a lot of small, direct-to-video, independent films, direct-to-video, direct-to-DVD, and been writing for years. So this is what I decided years ago when I was in my 20s that I would invest my life in. And, and here I am now, still doing it. So, but again, just want to state as I wrap up here, AI is great. I love it. I'm all in. I'm not going to stop using it. I use it. I'm finding myself using it more and more and more now, because the beauty of it is that when I get an idea, I can create it right away. I don't have to book a set, find a location. I don't have to cast actors. I create the actors. I don't have to find a location. I create the locations. I write the story. I put it all together. And then, though, the downside is that it's in the hands of the artificial intelligence program to decide if I can do it or not. And sometimes I get warnings that this violates our policy. You can't do this, you can't do that. And that's something I really don't like. But I just ignore it, because I know that there are going to be other software programs where you can make whatever you want. And unfortunately, some people are going to abuse it. They're going to make bad stuff. But that's what the world we live in. I mean, just like we have film cameras. People can take film cameras and they make bad content. That doesn't mean we're going to stop making movies because people take film cameras and make bad content. So, but I think that this is a great advancement. I enjoy it. I know there are a lot of other people out there who enjoy it. I get a lot of good comments. A lot of you guys are watching my stuff. And again, I'm trying to move everything over to 16:9 to my regular video format. So you'll have to go to my channel to find that. And please look at some of my stuff and help me build up those watch hours. I appreciate that, because I do a lot of stuff here. And I want to bring, the reason I'm doing this content, this type of content, this comedy content, because I want to return YouTube. I want to see it go more back to the way it used to be when it first started, where you could turn to it and watch a funny video. You can watch a funny skit. You don't have to subscribe. You just watch it. And if you like it, you share it with somebody. I want to see more of that. I'm working with a new actress and writer who I met a few weeks ago, and we're finally, looks like I'm going to finally get that series I've been talking to you guys, my first one, off the ground. Now, I've had some series productions, here on the channel that I've worked with people, one-off things, stuff like that. But this looks like when I'm finally going to be able to get what I want to do, my very first consistent series, and come out with an episode each week for you guys. We're going to start small. We're going to start by, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm working with her and tell her from the very beginning, let's start small, do some good stuff together, and build it up. She has a great resource with talent, which is what I've been looking for, which I am sorely lacking. I have all the production side element, cameras, lights, sound, all that kind of stuff. I'm an editor too. I've got tons of equipment that I've accumulated over the years, but it's just me. And film, television, video production is a collaborative art. It's a collaborative art. I know a lot of people out there start on their own, but then even a lot of the big YouTubers now, they build teams around them. They don't sit there and do it by themselves anymore. And, that's unfortunate. That's how I started to. I've been on YouTube for years, but I was just using it as a portfolio. But now that I'm moving forward with monetization and creating original YouTube first content, go check out my channel. I've said that a million times. And so I'm going to wrap up now. Starting to get a little bit dark out here. You can see my the night vision on my camera is coming across. But I'm going to try to come out at least once a day, either in the morning, afternoon, or right now, like in the evening, and just give you guys an update of what I'm doing. And I always give a tip up front. And that tip was for actors. If your agent or your talent or your representatives ask you to do something, do it. Don't make them wait. And if they call you or they send you a text about an audition, respond. Follow through. That's to all my actor friends out there who, sometimes I just don't get it in my head. You want to be an actor, you want to get work, you want to work on television, you want to work in movies, and you are lucky enough to get an agent or a manager, and you don't respond when they call you. And just have guts. If you don't want to do the project, if it's not for you, tell them. And tell them why. Be upfront, be honest, be open. Don't try to just ignore things. Be upfront and respond one way or the other. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good evening, and thanks for stopping by.